to look, whether it's I'm going to the grocery store or even sometimes date night, because my babe does not really care for me to wear makeup. So just to look a little bit more put together and, you know, a little bit more fresh, this is my go-to look. A messy bun, obviously, and some hoop earrings or whatever earrings, you know, just to kind of dazzle everything back together. And yeah, so this is my everyday look that I do. It's easy, it's quick, especially for mom, students, you know, everyday employees. This is just something that I like to put myself put on. So yeah, if you want to, you know, get a little tutorial on how I complete this look, then keep on watching. So here I'm just gathering my hair out of a little bun that I had in previously. My hair is already detangled, so that I don't have to redo. I'm just grabbing a wide tooth comb and just combing my hair up into a very high ponytail. This is just my preference of how high I wanted. Like, for your own liking, you can always put it up however high or however low you would like it. And I'm just grabbing a smaller comb to pull out the side pieces of my hair. That's just something that I like to have out, just because, no particular reason. And I'm just grabbing 2 scrunchies. I have thick hair, so I do have to use sometimes 2, sometimes 3, depending on the tightness that I'm wanting for my desire. And I'm just continuing to put this up in a very high ponytail. And then I'm just going to grab my white tooth comb and finish off detangling the ends just so that they don't look as bad. I know that they're frayed, but I haven't gotten a trim in a while. I'm just grabbing a little rubber band at the ends about 2 inches up, and this just makes the process easier when rolling down the bun into a donut shape. That's just the technique that I like to use. And of course, I'm just grabbing another scrunchie and just tying that around with no perfect technique. It's a messy bun. It's supposed to be a little bit messy, and that's all that is to it. Right now, I'm just going to go ahead and grab a makeup wipe just to clean off my hands of any oils that I had before I continue on with this look, just so I'm not getting any extra oils on my face. I'm spraying some Mario Badescu rose water on my face just for a little bit more hydration. And I'm just going to grab my beauty blender and looking for my foundation, obviously, and I'm going to be using the Smashbox Liquid Halo as well as a Wet n Wild Foundation Photo Focus. And I'm just going to mix those two together on my face directly and just apply it that way. I don't have an exact perfect complexion foundation, so I usually do have to mix both of either of my foundations together just to get that perfect complexion, so I don't look too pale and I don't look too tan. So yeah, so I'm not really putting this on in any type of way, just applying it to my skin directly from the bottles with the little spatula and the pump as well. And I'm just going to go ahead and start blending all of that out. And I like to kind of work from left to right, but in a circular motion just to get more coverage. So I'm just going to keep on blending that out. Now I'm on the forehead. And the forehead is the most important place for me to blend just because I do have discoloration up there and as well as my neck. So just to make sure I'm blending fully around the neck and the face just to make sure that everything does look completely put together. And I'm going to go in with my NYX micro pencil. This is my favorite eyebrow product at the moment. I usually do like to use the Anastasia brow pomade, but I feel that it's a little bit tougher to work with, as well as the color's a little too deep for my liking, especially for a kind of everyday quick get together look. I just like to use something that's a little bit more natural, a lot easier formula, and just a lot smoother. So I usually like to work my way downward, so I'll start at the top of the brow with a light line, brush it out, and then go to the bottom of the brow. Sometimes I do start at the bottom, but I like to start at the top just so I know exactly how full my eyebrows are going to be, because the bottom was always a lot easier to correct rather than the top, especially for this kind of look. I'm just brushing the brows out, just making sure that it does look even as possible. And now I'm just going to go in with a small flat concealer brush, and this is a Wet n Wild concealer. It's about $3, but it's so worth it, especially just for a more natural, quick and easy look. I usually like to use this one because it is closer to my foundation and skin complexion. Therefore, I'm not having to overcorrect anything like I would if I was to use my Tarte Shape Tape. And I'm just correcting under the brows and blending it out with the beauty blender that I use with my foundation. And I'm just doing this to make sure that there's no harsh lining under the brows with the correction that I just did with the Wet n Wild concealer. And now I'm just applying to my eyelids. Because I'm not going to be doing any type of eyeshadow look, this is why I'm applying it to my lids. I usually do like to use concealer as my primer base, but since I picked up the James Charles Morphe collab, I like to just go ahead and use eyeshadow primer by Milani. And I'm just going to add a little bit of brightness to my face under my eyes with the concealer, as well as the top of my lip, my chin, and my forehead. And I do not like to put concealer in the middle of my brows because it seems to cake up for me. So if I do have any extra concealer on my beauty blender, then I'll just run it through really lightly. But for the most part, I never put concealer between my brows. I'm not sure if it's just because I have a drier spot right there, but just for my liking, I usually don't like to put concealer between them. And I'm just blending it out as usual, bringing it down the bridge of my nose just to add a little bit more shape and definition. And I'm going to go in with the Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder by Maybelline in shade Light Medium, number 20. And when I tell you guys this setting powder is amazing, it is so amazing. I've tried about 4 different ones, and none of them have seemed to do me any justice when it comes to flashback. So this is the most recommended. And I am applying this to my lids just to continue out that brightening concept within my face, and of course on the jawline. Since I'm not going to be doing any harsh kind of contour today for this look, it's just something quick to look a little bit more put together. So just adding a little bit more brightness to a tired mama's face. And I'm going to go in with my James Charles Morphe collab palette, and I'm going to be going in with shade Punch Me in Tea. And I wanted to see the diversity I could use for this palette, so I am using these shades as a contour bronzing kind of concept, just to add a little bit more definition and depth into the angles of my face. I am applying a little bit to my forehead and just blending it all out. And bringing it down into more of a C shape. And then I'm going to go back into the palette, and I'm going to be using Mary and You're Kidding as a blush. Like I said, I'm just kind of working with the palette just to see exactly what I can do with it without having to dig in another palette, which is usually my biggest challenge, but it seemed to work pretty well. And I'm just blending it in with the contour, and now I'm just going to go ahead and wipe away the baking powder. And whenever I do this, when it comes to this look, I like to kind of blend all the powders together just so that there aren't any harsh lines, and it just kind of just seems all together. And the finishing powder also does help with the oiliness in my face. And then I just went in with my Ellen Tracy finishing spray that I got from Ross, and it smells so good. So if you happen to come by it, then go ahead and copy some. And now for highlight, I'm going to go in with Face and as well as So Good. And these are just really, really just light everyday highlighters that you can obviously build. But for this look in particular, I'm just going to use it just a little bit. And I'm also going to go in with those same shades with the flat concealer brush on my eyebrow bone, just to give it a little bit of a pop and just make the shape look a lot more appealing. Because I have not gotten my eyebrows done in a while, so this definitely helped with that. And I'm just going to go ahead and put the same highlighters in the inner corner of my eyes just to give it a little bit more of an appealing shape and my eyes a little bit bigger, I'm just applying some moisturizer. I don't usually like to use any type of lip products just because. And then I'm going to go in and finish off with my Colossal Volume Express mascara by Maybelline on the top lashes and as well as the bottom. This is the only mascara that I own because I am severely allergic to every other one that I purchased. So this is just the holy grail that I have until I'm able to find another one. So you will see me using this in all of my videos until, like I said, I'm able to find another one that is going to work for my eyes and not give me a bad reaction. This is the ending look. And if you have any questions, just let me know. Thanks for watching.